Muito boa noite, galera! Boa noite! Boa noite, boa noite aí! Boa noite! Forex no ar! Bora lá, galera! Bora lá! Forex no ar, galera! Estamos comprados aí no ouro e vendido no Dow. Vendido no Dow, comprado no ouro. Vendido no Dow e comprado no ouro. Bora, galera! Bora! Bora, rapaz! Bora! Vendido no Dow e comprado no ouro.
If there's uncertainty about that trade war deal getting done, that is going to weigh on Japanese stocks potentially. Stocks have risen for a third day yesterday, so this could be a fourth on hopes for precision instrument makers, electric appliance, again, the kind of companies that could benefit from this U.S.-China trade deal. As for Kospi, the Korean stocks, they're looking about a half point higher, about 1.5 points, so a little bit of hope there. And of course, the S&P 500, why is it down? Because it was up so much today. The S&P 500 hit that all-time high at 3,085, Sophie, as you know. So from here, we're going to have to wait to see some fresh impetus for U.S. stocks to continue that rally. Let's get the first word news now with Jessica Summers. Jess?
Thanks, Kathleen. French President Emmanuel Macron has attacked NATO, saying it's effectively dead with its core collective defense commitments in doubt. He wants Europe to create its own military group rather than rely on the increasingly withdrawn U.S. and the creaking transatlantic alliance. And the former National Security Advisor Susan Rice says the U.S. has been alienating its allies in recent years.
We've squandered the goodwill of many of those allies by denigrating them, by making everything transactional, by failing to tell the truth on multiple moments every day.
China has hit the pause button on its recent gold buying spree. The PBOC kept holdings level at 62.6 million ounces in October, unchanged from a month earlier. That holding pattern follows 10 straight months of accumulation that have boosted the mainland stockpile by more than 100 tons. Beijing has been buying gold this year to offset the fallout from the rumbling trade war. And Singapore's embrace of virtual banks is going beyond its own shores. The city-state says it wants to become a regional hub for technology firms with advanced data expertise. The Monetary Authority says that doing so would improve banking services at home and in other parts of Southeast Asia. Managing Director Ravi Menon says Southeast Asia presents a huge opportunity for virtual banks.
We see some of these players becoming regionally important, and I think looking ahead, Singapore wants to be a base for these players as they grow in the region.
And former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg is again weighing a White House run next year. The advisor said he's concerned that the top of Democrats won't be able to defeat President Trump. Bloomberg had considered a run earlier this year, but decided to instead support other Democratic efforts.
Boa noite, Douglas. Boa noite, galera. Galera, um novo link aí, tá? Para quem quiser entrar aí no grupo do WhatsApp, obter mais informações aí do Forex, tá aí o link aí do Zap, tá? O outro grupo do WhatsApp, nós estamos com 2 grupos agora, tá? O outro grupo aí lotou até o talo. Tá bom, pessoal? Ó, tivemos que criar aí um outro grupo, novo grupo aí, ó, Forex, tá? Eu não sei o que significa NP, porque quem criou aí foi o Marcelo do suporte, entendeu? E esse grupo aqui, ó, esse que foi criado primeiramente, aí o WhatsApp ele só consegue colocar 254 pessoas, né, no WhatsApp. Já lotou aí, tá bom? Não cabe mais ninguém. Aí tivemos que criar um outro grupo agora do Forex. Então nós vamos atuar nos dois grupos, tá bom, pessoal? Os dois grupos aí. Tá legal? Então à medida que entra o grupo aí, ó, a gente envia o tutorial. E aí através desse tutorial você dá uma lida. E as dúvidas, tem uma equipe de prontidão aí para lhe ajudar nas dúvidas, tá bom? Boa sorte aí, pessoal. Vamos lá, estamos comprados aí no ouro e vendido no Dow. Já está aí com um gainzinho já de 10 dólares no Dow. E aí como tem um spread aí no ouro, né, ainda está um pouco negativo, mas já vai virar positivo aí, mete o cacete. Bola para frente. Aí, new projeto, NP. Poderia ser New São Paulo, poderia ser Nova Paulada, pode ser tudo. Aí os caras arrancam um negócio de inglês aí, rapaz. Inglês aí pra vocês. Uma frescuraiada terrível. Aí tá aí, pessoal, novo grupo aí do Forex. Olha o link aí do Forex. Quem quiser entrar no grupo aí, ó, tá aí o link. Aí não foi você não? Foi o Mr. M, que não quer ser chamado pelo nome, tem que chamar ele de Mr. M. Só podia ser mesmo. Lá no Ceará a gente chama esse tipo de atitude de gente que faz essas coisas frescura de rabo. Você já imagina, né? Lá em Fortaleza, quando o cidadão fica cheio dessas coisas, aí nós falamos assim, frescura de rabo terrível, pai, até doido. Aí você imagina. Aí o dinheiro que é bom? Nada. Eu tô falando. Ele já tá mandando as mensagens aqui, pessoal. Atendente Ixelles. Aí ele já tá mandando aqui as mensagens já. Aí ele nem entendeu o negócio que eu falei. Eu falei, ó, pessoal, mudaram aí o nome do grupo agora, botaram aí Forex do Além NP. Eu falei, o que é esse negócio de NP que eu não sei não. Aí eu falei, foi o Marcelo do suporte aí que botou isso. Aí o Marcelo do suporte respondeu, não fui eu não. Foi o outro. Foi o Mr. M. Aí eu falei, ah, então o que significa? Aí New Project. New Project! Ai! Aí lá no Ceará, a gente, quando acabou que inventa essas coisas, nós chamamos de frescura de rabo. Ai, ai. Vamos, Paulo. Paulo Roberto, você subiu hoje, Paulo? Tava com saudade de seus áudios já. Seus áudios é muito intuitivo e engraçado. Ai, ai. Homem do além. Ai, ai. E o bichinho que apita, hein? Galera, o ouro aí, ó, tem que estopar bem aqui, ó. Bem aqui no 14,6550, tá? E continua a saga aí, né? Vamos ver aqui qual foi a última hora dele aqui. Acho que foi aqui embaixo, né? Ele caiu bastante, meu cara. Tá no fundo do semanal e no mensal, cara. Ó, tá no fundo do mensal. Se ele perder aí, vai bater no 52. Aí só vai ter compra lá embaixo, 52. R$52,70. Tem uma parada talvez aqui no 60, tá, pessoal? Mas acho difícil aí. Do jeito que ele tá indo aí, ó. Tem uma compra aí no 14,60. 14,60 e 50. Aí se perder esse 14,60 e 50 aí, vai bater lá no 52. Vou esperar a abertura aí do diário, né? Que é às 21 horas. Quando abrir esse diário aqui, é aí que vai definir, tá? Boa noite, Humberto. Como é que você tá, cara? Sumidão. Boa noite, irmão. Como é que anda as coisas? Ah, e o stop do down é aqui, tá, pessoal? Tem que stopar aqui, ó. Vem aí. Aí no 27,730. Tá bom? Vamos lá, galera. Olha o ouro aí subindo. Vamos ver se vai lá, né? Vamos lá, galera. Vai abrir o diário aí. Vamos ver o que esse diário vai aprontar. Vamos lá, galera. O Fluminense tá dando um pau no São Paulo lá no Morumbi, 2-0. Eu quero é mais que os bambos se lasquem. Nós estamos na zona da degola lá, rapaz. Vamos empurrar o Botafogo, Fortaleza e o Ceará para baixo. Socar o porrete nesse povo. Na zona da degola. E olha que o São Paulo tá lá em cima, né, rapaz? Eu não entendo, não. Abriu aí, pessoal. Abriu aí o diário. Vamos ver o que vai suceder aí.
Good morning. Next, in Hong Kong, Asia's major markets have opened the day.
Good evening from Bloomberg's global headquarters in New York. I'm Kathleen Penn. Welcome to Daybreak Asia. I'm Tom. Our top stories this hour include China signaling new tariffs and trade deal approaches. Both sides say negotiations are making progress. As sparks an appetite for risk with Asian stocks on track for a fifth week of gains now. Traders see no further Fed move for at least 2 years. And methane on the future, China uses steel mergers to help shore up the financial system. We have the details in Beijing.
Let's get a check on the open in Tokyo. We are seeing a Japanese stocks gaining ground. They hit 5.8%, set for a fourth a day higher, and the topics also on the up. Well, the yen is trading near a 5-month low after slipping overnight with treasuries on trade lines. We're watching for earnings from Honda, plus major reaction to U.S. results, plus we had some data for China this morning. Japanese household spending surged by a record, and the month before the October sales tax hike jumping 9.5% year-on-year, marking a 10th straight month higher, and labor path earnings also increased more than forecast. And check out that move on JGBs, the 10-year yield climbing about 4 basis points, rising to the highest level since May.
E aí, tá vindo aí?
On the cost pages, adding 0.4%, but waiting on earnings from South Korea, including Samsung, Heavy, plus the finance ministry will release its monthly budget report. And switching out the board, checking on the activities, we are seeing green shoots for the Aussie dollar. You have so with all the shares adding like a 10.8%, set for a second session higher in Aussie dollar. Just a little change, but since end of week below 69 ahead of full closing, and the RBA's monetary policy statement and Aussie yields bears made bucks per. So let's check
E aí?
Oi, Lucas. Falamos.
E aí, vocês duas falou com ele?
Falamos.
Sua mãe falou com ele?
Falou.
E aí?
Não, achei ele com aparência boa, falando. Ele disse que tá na luta, tá prevista a cirurgia pra segunda, só que o médico disse pra tia Priscila que era de risco, a cirurgia e tal. Aí ele falou que tava bem, tava esperando. Aí, pronto, foi isso. A gente falou com ele, desejou melhoras. Foi, ele tava bem risonho, tava bem, assim. Foi, perguntou da mamãe, aí a mamãe apareceu no vídeo, falou com ele e tal. Pronto, a gente falou da companheira de noite dele, a tia Priscila, uma ótima companhia, linda. Aí ficou morrendo. Pronto. Mandei beijo, boa noite, Deus abençoe, melhoras e tal. Pronto.
É porque ele é assim mesmo, mas ele sabe, né? Seu avô já sabe já.
Uhum.
Aí ele não quer falar nada não, ele quer mostrar que tá tudo bem.
Uhum.
Entendeu? Sua mãe escorreu a lágrima, igual você?
Escorreu a lágrima?
É, tu e sua mãe escorrem. Vocês duas escorrem a lágrima, só a Livinha que não.
Não, escorreu não. Só a mamãe que tá escorrendo agora.
E a Livinha?
Tá aqui, ajeitando os cabelos.
Tá bom, então.
A mamãe está abalada, ela disse.
Tá bom, então. Pois tá.
Tá bom.
Beijo, tchau.
Boa noite pra vocês.
Boa noite. Beijo. Deus abençoe.
Tchau.
Tchau.
Te amo. Mamãe, tchau.
Tchau, tchau. Vamos lá, galera. Estava on para o Brasil. Desculpa aí, eu deixei ligado aí o microfone, pessoal. E para quem não sabe, meu pai está numa situação meio complicada no hospital. E as chances dele são mínimas, tá? Mas vamos lá. Aí, pessoal, o ouro aí, ó, derretendo, essa miséria. Ó, stop aí no Dow, deixa essa miséria subir. Quem quer pegar essa onda aí? Vamos pegar essa onda aí na compra, bora. Entra na compra aí, stopamos aí, entramos na compra do Dow. Vamos montar nesse bicho aí, ó. Vamos ver até onde que esse miserável vai. Porque, ó, fazendo novo topo, cara, não, sabe? Loucura total. Entendeu? Aí já traz pra cá o stop, ó. E vende essa miséria aí do ouro aí, que já vai pegar o stop aqui mesmo. Ela só quer subir. Vambora, já que quer subir, vambora. Quer subir, então. Projetar aqui um alvo aqui dentro dos nossos estudos do além, né? Não tem nem alvo aqui na direita. Tudo histórico, né? Nada, né? Então vamos recorrer aí aos estudos das Astúrias. Vamos lá. Vamos fazer um estudo aqui com vocês aqui das Astúrias. Vamos falar dos estudos das Astúrias. Já? Vocês vão aprender hoje. Porque ela é ruim por causa disso. Meu outro aqui, o que eu posso fazer? R$930 aí, tá, pessoal? Uau! Pô, a gente não tá voltando agora, né, o miserável? Um pouco aqui, ó, vai acabar caindo aí. Estamos comprado aí no Dow, tá, pessoal, e vendido no ouro. Tá, aqui, esse stop aqui, ó, vamos até essa compra aqui do ouro aqui, ó, a gente vai até sair dela aqui. Estamos vendido no ouro. Aí o stop tem que ser aqui, ó. aqui no 14,68,70 e alvo aqui para baixo, tá? Alvo é aqui, ó, 14,60,70, 14,60,70, tá bom? Deve bater lá, que é a mínima aí do mensal, semanal. Agora vamos esperar, pessoal. Esperar aí o mercado asiático. Vai dar uma sacolejada aí.
Full trade deal. So I think I wouldn't be surprised if there is a partial rolling back of existing tariffs in the phase one deal. So what would a partial rollback be? It seems to me they both win because China would get some of its tariffs rolled back. They wouldn't get the new ones imposed. The U.S. would in some sense have then a way to enforce the deal, because then if China doesn't do what it's supposed to do, then they don't have to remove any more tariffs. I would assume that's how they're setting it up. Is that a win-win for both of them potentially?
Yes, so actually I think there has been three fundamental drivers for the easing China-US trade tension. The first one is growing economic headwinds for both economy and most recently US manufacturing sector. And second one, China also leads a more stable external environment, political environment to cope with the challenges in Hong Kong and Taiwan. And third one, I believe a full implement of the partial trade deal could help to dismiss the mistrust between China and the U.S.
Now, Serena, the rollback of tariffs, that's a key demand for Beijing, and that cannot come sooner for Chinese exports. The performance has been sluggish. We're anticipating another slump for the month of October. What are you reading here?
Actually, I'm looking for continued weakness in China's exports. Both China's high-frequency shipping index and trade-related PMI in October both pointed to slowing trade activity. And I think this has not just to do with the ongoing China-US trade war, but it also has a lot to do with the slowing global demand. And in this sense, even after China and the US reached a partial trade deal in mid-November or early December, I think there won't be a turnaround shortly.
What about the import side of the equation? We had Xi Jinping in Shanghai at the Import-Export Expo in Shanghai say that he would look to open the country up to more imports, but the contribution has been on the decline.
Well, I think a big part of China's imports come from its re-export demand. So if China's re-export is dropping, I think that cannot be a significant pickup in China's import growth.
Given the levers at hand for authorities in China to support the economy, we saw an MLF rate cut this week from the PBOC. You're anticipating a triple R cut.
Yes. So actually, I believe China's blocked monetary transmission mechanism is mainly because of those funding difficulties for small banks in China, small local banks, especially after PBOC's takeover of Baoshan Bank in May. And you know that most like China's open market operations and most liquidity facilities set up by the PBOC mainly can only be accessed by national Chinese bank, those big banks. And I believe a cut that could benefit all the banks equally could be a better way to help the PBOC to lower bank lending rate extensively.
What's the biggest risk right now? We've got pork prices pushing up inflation,
Não
but
sei
the
não,
property
cara.
market is also being
Fica
closely
só
watched by
comendo
many
isso,
people.
comendo aí, tem coisa mais saudável.
Yes, first of all, I think
A tia fez uma inscrição.
the surging pork price
watching Daybreak Asia. A quick check now of the latest business flash headlines. Former GE boss Jeffrey Immelt is joining the board of Bloom Energy, a fuel cell maker that's struggling to lift its share price. Immelt is one of two new directors at a company that's trading far below its $15 IPO price in July last year. Bloom Energy reported record revenue in the third quarter as it posted another net loss in a string of reverses that goes back through at least 2015.
General Motors has brought the curtain down on its time in Ohio, selling its shuttered Lordstown plant to an electric truck startup formed specifically to save the plant. The deal ends 5 decades of GM building vehicles in the state. Lordstown opened in 1966, but its fate was sealed when the unions failed to convince GM to keep the plant open as part of a new labor contract agreed last month.
Gap boss Art Peck has been fired, sending shares tanking in late trade. He will leave his role as president and CEO after a short transition after the company endured years of struggle. Peck has tried to turn things around, including shaking up the leadership team, but to little effect. Business has declined to such an extent that Gap decided to spin off its recent sales driver, Old Navy.
Disney jumped in extended trading after reporting better than expected earnings and strong confidence in their highly anticipated streaming video service, Disney Plus, which is set to debut in just a few days. Bloomberg's Sue Keenan, watching the report, sifting through all the analysis and reaction, has a lot more.
Yeah, big jump after hours. Let's go right to that chart. At one point, it was up almost 6% to 141 a share. They beat on the top and bottom line. If you look at the big picture year-to-date chart, you'll notice shares soared back in April after the company first gave its ambitious numbers for a subscription streaming video service. By 2024, they were expecting 90 million subscribers by then. And as you can see, they were up significantly going into the earnings. Let's take a look also at the numbers, which is $1.07 a share, beating again the estimates. In terms of the movie studios, Lion King was just one of the movies that helped really push the box office revenue up by 50% and the operating income for the movie division by close to 80%. The streaming service also a big part of the conference call. The fact that Disney was able to lock in a deal with Amazon and Fire TV to help distribution, a big part of the message.
And Sue, we're not too far off from the launch of the streaming service, $7 a month. Tell us more about that.
Well, it launches on Tuesday. It has been the big urgent call of Bob Iger made to find his CEO-ship. Let's take a listen to how he described what the expectations are.
And we're still relatively small in terms of the scope of things, in terms of number of subscribers, but I think the best way for me to characterize it would be to say that we're enthusiastic about what we saw the consumer reaction to be. We certainly feel good about the product that's going into the marketplace next week, and we'll know a lot more in just a few days.
And again, they had prior agreements for distribution with Apple and Roku and a Verizon tie-in, all that expected to be for a very strong launch. There are some analysts that are skeptical. Porter Bibb, one of them, with MediaTek saying it could be years before they see profit from the service, but they are aggressively moving in this direction. Again, they launch early next week, so we shall see.
A lot of excitement around that. Sue Keenan, thank you so very much. So, up next, we're going to be taking the latest policy statement from Reserve Bank of Australia. Will they reserve their growth forecast, make it lower? We'll see. This is Bloomberg. from the Reserve Bank of Australia, their quarterly update on their outlook for the economy, and there are some positive aspects. They see a gradual consumption pickup, but they do see dwelling investment. In other words, dwelling in new housing seen as a drag on output for several quarters. They cut their GDP forecast for the year through June 2020 to 2.5% to 2.75%, pushing their 2% core inflation forecast out 6 more months, acknowledging they're too far below target. They're not going to get there for a while to December 2021. They do see progress to medium-term inflation and jobs growth. Wage growth no longer expected to pick up, and they are prepared to ease monetary policy further if needed. This is not going to come as a surprise, as anybody who was watching Phil Lowe this year, governor of the RBA, and his 3 rate cuts this year. The question is, how soon will they cut them again? But obviously, not overly pessimistic, but some clear signs that the RBA is certainly not ready, potentially not ready, to stop cutting rates, particularly with inflation below target. Well, let's get right to the first word headlines now with our own Jessica Summers. Jessica.
Thanks, Kathleen. French President Emmanuel Macron has attacked NATO, saying it's effectively dead with its core collective defense commitments in doubt. He wants Europe to create its own military group rather than rely on the increasingly withdrawn U.S. and the creaking transatlantic alliance. Plus, the former National Security Advisor Susan Rice says the U.S. has been alienating its allies in recent years.
We've squandered the goodwill of many of those allies by denigrating them, by making everything transactional, by failing to tell the truth on multiple moments every day.
The European Commission is cutting its forecast for Eurozone growth and inflation, warning the bloc's recent economic resilience won't last forever. The EU's executive arm sees only muted momentum through 2021, with expansion of 1.2% and inflation remaining well below the ECB's goal of 2%. The Eurozone has stumbled amid the trade war and weakening business confidence. And the Bank of England is again highlighting the threats to growth from Brexit and the weaker global economy, hinting that it could be forced to join other central banks and loosen monetary policy. Governor Mark Carney pinpointed the risks, and markets raised bets on a rate cut next year. 2 policymakers called for a cut immediately, although they were outvoted by the majority.
The MPC judges that the risks around its projections for potential supply growth and therefore GDP growth are skewed to the downside in the second and third years of the forecast, reflecting the uncertainty around the exact nature of the FTA with the EU and the transition to it.
Global news 24 hours a day, on air and at TikTok on Twitter, powered by more than 2,700 journalists and analysts in more than 120 countries. I'm Jessica Summers. This is Bloomberg.
Taking a look at how Asian markets are faring so far today, stocks in the region set for a 5th weekly rise, matching the longest winning streak in nearly 2 years. The Japanese shares are climbing for a 4th straight session, while the yen is holding losses. And I want to highlight what's going on in the bond space, in particular. JGBs are under pressure, so that is seeing the 10-year yield set for the biggest weekly jump in more than 6 years, now at a May high. And Aussie yields are bear steepening, 10-year yields in Australia rising as much as 10 basis points. And checking in on the Korean won, set for a 6th weekly gain, while the Kospi is being led higher by Samsung. Now checking in on some stock movers, Shiseido sliding after its 3rd quarter miss as it posted declining sales in Hong Kong and South Korea. And Kirin delivered 3rd quarter net sales that met estimates, the stock jumping after announcing a share buyback that shows cash flow confidence. And Isetan rising as much as 10.2% on its buyback plans after 2nd quarter net sales that met estimates. And Toyota also announced a share buyback, 200 billion yen worth, as profitability was boosted by cost controls and solid sales in the US and Japan. And later today, we will learn how Honda performed. Joining us now from Tokyo is Janet Lewis, Macquarie Capital Securities Head of Asian Auto Research. So a strong showing from Toyota. What jumped out at you from that earnings report card?
What really jumped out was just how robust their operating margin is at 9.2% for the first half of the year. This is by far the highest among global automakers, and it's up 0.6 points, which shows that despite all the investments they're needing to make, to become a mobility company, they're still able to generate a rising level of profitability.
And with the share buyback, some that was on the lookout for, what does that tell you?
Well, the share buyback is slightly smaller than last year's first half at 200 billion yen versus 250. But the fact that they're continuing to make these cash outlays just highlights how robust their balance sheet is. They've got a lot of cash available, and they are using it to return to shareholders. They're committed to a 30% payout ratio, and I expect you could see another sizable buyback at the end of the fiscal year.
Well, Janet, when we step back, the auto industry is under pressure around the world. Companies are trying to figure out how to develop electric vehicles, hybrids, as fast as they can. Some are making it, some are stumbling. What's so important, it seems, about Toyota is how they stand out relative, certainly to their Japanese competitors and others around the world. What are they doing to get all that cash on their balance sheet? What is it that they're doing that is so right and above the others?
Well, Toyota has always run its business in a very efficient manner and has been focused on profitability. But I think the other key factor is size matters. Volkswagen has obviously had a few issues to deal with, like Dieselgate, but the bottom line is it also has produced above sector average returns, particularly in its recent reporting. And so the advantage that Toyota and Volkswagen, for that matter, have is because they are so big, they can leverage the investments that they need for the different requirements in different markets across a broad base of cars. And this is something that, if you're only selling a few million cars instead of 10 million cars, is a lot harder to do.
So, specifically, they are taking very definite steps geared to the Chinese market. They're doing some things in the U.S. What stands out to you as steps that are going to add to this success and this dominance?
Well, first of all, they've got a good range of products. They don't depend on just a single product category. So it's not just pickup trucks, it's not just crossovers. They have a broad range of products that can appeal to a broad range of customers. I think the underlying most important quality for Toyota is that their current owners come back to the brand. And this is a much cheaper way to sell cars than attracting a new customer. And so it's that strong, long-standing quality reputation. You buy a Toyota, you know you're not going to break down on the side of the road. And so whether you're in the U.S. or in China, this matters. Also, they consistently have very good fuel economy. And even with the current price of gasoline being relatively low, when you go to fill up, if it's costing you less, that reduces your running costs on the car.
And Janet, focusing more on the China market, Toyota's operating officer, Kenta Kon, said sales there were doing well. The share not large though, but they are playing catch up. Have a listen to what he had to say.
Our sales in China have increased 7 to 8% from the previous year, despite declining vehicle sales in the country. Our market share in China is still low and there's more room to grow. New models such as the Corolla and Lexus ES have been well received by Chinese buyers. The popularity of these new models contributed to our growth in China sales.
So Janet, with that, how much of a pickup are you anticipating in volumes for China from Toyota?
So for this year, we're looking for 6 or 7% growth in China and double-digit growth for the Lexus brand. Premium cars, particularly Lexus, are doing extremely well. They're selling them without any discounting. There's long waiting lists for models like the ES, which Kon-san mentioned was very popular. They're just in the process of launching the new RAV4, and as noted, the new Corolla and Levin are also selling very well. And here the bottom line is, Japanese cars are very popular for people buying their second cars. That's still only just over 30% of the market in China. And as more and more people move to buy their second cars, we see potential for Toyota to continue to gain share in the China market.
Let's take a look at Honda already in their earnings. Bloomberg News is reporting that their net profit in the second quarter is expected to drop 21% on the year. What's going on?
So on the negative side for Honda, the key headwind right now is in the motorcycle market, particularly the weak sales we've seen in markets like India, which is a very important market for them. Because the motorcycle business has had extremely high operating margins in the double-digit levels, when you see a pullback in that market, it has an impact on the bottom line. Against this, they've continued to do very well in China also, along with Toyota, and I expect that their financing business in the U.S. has also done well. One of the things that Toyota mentioned was an improvement in residual values due to the strong used car market, and that's something that Honda is likely to be benefiting from as well.
Okay, pluses and minuses. There you go. We'll look forward to that report all the more now after speaking with you, Janet Lewis, Macquarie Capital Securities Head of Asian Auto Research. Up next, MSCI rolls out the welcome mat in its latest index shakeup. What's changing in the All-Country World Index and its China Index next? This is Bloomberg.
Essa educação acabou? Terminou as perguntas?
Não. Carneiro tá montando.
Isso eu não vi não.
Daybreak Asia. MSCI has announced the latest shakeup of its indices. It includes hundreds of new securities for its All-Country World Index and a bigger weighting for mainland China shares in the Emerging Markets Index. Now, our China Markets team leader, Supriya Acosta, joins us now. What does this third phase of Asia inclusion tell us?
So exactly, Sophie. This was what MSCI announced 2 years ago. It started with this phased inclusion in 2018 and continued into this year. This is the third phase. So the weighting will increase to 4.1% for A shares on the MSCI Emerging Markets Index. And that's an important index because billions of, almost trillions actually, of passive money tracks those indices. That's effective as of the close at the end of the month. CICC predicting $40 billion in inflows because of this inclusion. Foreigners have already kind of been preparing for this because it's not a surprise. We didn't know which stocks exactly, but we knew that there would be small caps, mid caps, stars, stocks that are listed on the Starboard also eligible for the first time. So they've been buying ahead of this. We've had foreign buying for 11 straight days via the stock.
Are we likely to see more inflows in mid-caps, 189 of the 24 China A shares to be included in the mid-cap space?
Yeah, exactly. And that was, the Chinex earlier this year really rallied when that was announced by MSCI. That was a surprise at the time. And the Chinex, it's companies listed in Shenzhen, more
Fala, galera.
New economy, a little bit more exciting companies than we had before.
Tomamos aí umas estopadas, hein? Vamos esperar a abertura do mercado asiático aí, falta 15 minutos. Boa noite, trades do além. Ó, o link aí do grupo aí do Forex, do grupo do WhatsApp, tá, pessoal?
Spoke to Rob Lino, head of the Monetary Authority of Singapore, in an exclusive
advanced data analytics capabilities can use new credit evaluation, loan extension in a much cheaper and faster way than traditional banks. We see some of these players becoming regionally important, and I think looking ahead, Singapore wants to be a base for these players as they grow in the region, and that means anchoring them here at their early stage of their development and allowing them access to the domestic capital market.
Given all these developments, do you envisage a time when there needs to be consolidation within the banking industry? Because if you recall when the Prime Minister, the Founding Father of Singapore...
Galera, quem quiser comprar aí o Dow, compra aí e vende o ouro aí, tá? Eu tô achando que esse ouro vai derreter aí. Stop aqui no 1472. Do Dow, stop aqui, ó. 27.668.
Interesting joint ventures and combinations between traditional financial services and non-financial players. That really harnesses the synergies rather than consolidation on its own, which is mostly about cutting cost, which I'm not sure is the paramount thing for now. And as a prudential regulator, I think no regulator would like to see overly concentrated banking sector that just concentrates risk too much players, and I think having some diversity in the banking landscape is not a bad thing.
That's the Monetary Authority of Singapore MD, Ravi Menon. Don't forget our interactive TV function, TV Go. There you can watch us live and catch up on past interviews, as well as dive into any of the securities or Bloomberg functions that we've been talking about. This is for Bloomberg subscribers only. Check it out at TV Go. This is Bloomberg.
Struggling office-sharing startup WeWork inspired 13 employees accused of violating company policy. It was its first major access since SoftBank took a majority stake. Chairman Marcelo Clare wrote to staff saying the dismissals affect workers across the globe, including in the U.S., Canada, Israel, and Latin America. WeWork says it won't tolerate disrespectful behavior.
Toyota and Chinese electric car maker BYD are to launch a joint venture next year to design and develop vehicles powered by batteries. The two sides say they intend to create a complete new platform as well as other related auto parts. Each company will supply 50% of the capital needed, and Toyota and BYD will move their own engineers and
sold 2 billion euros of 6.5-year bonds and will use proceeds to reduce its carbon footprint, improve eco-friendly materials in its products, and conserve resources. The market for green bonds is growing as entities raise funds to cut their use of fossil fuels.
Forex California utility PG&E now expects more than $6 billion in after-tax costs from wildfires linked to its equipment, its Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and recent power outages in the state. It reported a $1.6 billion loss for the third quarter, driven by a charge for claims related to fires in 2017 and last year. PG&E is not providing earnings guidance for 2019. Before we head over to the markets, trying to open a quick look at how markets are trading right now. In Tokyo, the Nikkei 225 is higher for a fourth session at an October 10th high, set to cap a 5-week gain. Mizuho Securities says corporate sentiment will be kept from worsening if tariffs are dropped. Now, the Kospi extended gains for a 7th straight session, and we are seeing Aussie shares fluctuating. Gold miners among the laggards in Sydney as bullion heads for the worst week since 2017. And with a QE debate continuing, Capital Economics sees Aussie shares climbing 10%. Should the RBA pull the trigger in 2020. Now let's check in on the futures for checking in on ESA, S&P E-minis just slightly under pressure. Maybe some of this back and forth around trade lines, but we're seeing TAIEX futures gain ground ahead of trade data due from Taiwan, which may see a slowdown in the contraction of exports growth for
Boa noite, Solismar. Quanto que eu tenho? 240. Quanto, cara? 243, quê? Milhões? 800, quê? 57 mil? Onde é que você viu esse valor, cara? Que eu não tô enxergando aqui. Hã? Solismar. Ah, agora sim, agora o valor tá diferente, né? Porque aquele valor que você botou ali, não sei onde é que tava, não. Vai abrir o mercado asiático aí, pessoal. Vamos ver aí o que vai acontecer. Vai abrir agora. Abrindo aí, pessoal, dependendo do lado que for, a gente vai entrar com eles aí, tá? Ó, já veio pra baixo. Estamos vendido aí. Ah, sim, entendi, Solismar. Vezes R$4, né? Vamos lá, pessoal. Foca aí no trade. Venda aí no ouro. E compra aí no Dow. Galera, nós vamos vender o Dow aí, que tá caindo. E vamos zerar aqui. Vamos zerar aqui o ouro. Vamos comprar o ouro. Vamos ver o que vai dar aí. O stop tá aqui. Tá difícil a leitura hoje, tá, pessoal? Só o Dow aí que deu uma sequência de queda aí e continua queda. Agora o ouro aqui, ó, ele subiu, desceu, agora tá querendo descer. E o Dow tá descendo, então pra mim deve subir aí o ouro, tá? Agora tá caindo. Galera, vamos nessa aí. Tá, o ouro aí, ele tá muito indeciso, então deixa o seu stop aqui, ó. E ó, muito indeciso aqui. Então se ele vier para baixo aí, vai ter compra aqui embaixo, ó. 14,60. Então a gente vai stopar aqui e se ele vier para cá, entra na compra. Aí o alvo esse topo aqui, ó, onde que ele começou a cair, tá? E aí se ele vier para baixo aqui, ó, se perder 60, ele busca aqui os 52, tá bom? Aí para cima aqui a gente tá comprado, para ver se ele segue aí. E o Dow a gente está vendido, a gente vai stopar bem aqui, ó, caso ele venha. E aí o alvo aqui para baixo. 490, 500. Uma abertura de um dia aí, 500 aí, bota aí 504. Beleza? Galera, eu vou nessa aí. Muito obrigado a todos aí, uma boa noite a todo mundo, obrigado de coração, valeu pessoal, tudo de bom para vocês aí, e a gente se vê amanhã, um abraço, fui!